Hello, America. It's February 9th, 2010, day 40. And 40 being such a biblical number, I thought that I would tell you a story about Red Bull. It gives you wings. Actually, that's a terrible idea. Red Bull? Who came up with that name? If anything, it should be called Red Pig, because I'm pretty sure that pigs bleed a lot more because we eat them a lot. And also because the phrase is like, that'll be the day when pigs can fly. So, that's my 3 cents worth there. Anyway, number 40 represents the Bible. So I'm going to tell you a story from the Bible. It's one of my favorite stories. It doesn't really do anything for me faith-wise or spiritual-wise. I just find it an amusing story. This is the story of Razis, and it can be found in the book of Maccabees. There was a man named Razis, and his enemies had taken over his land. So he hoarded himself in his throne room. And he knew that defeat, there was no way that there was any way that he could win. He knew he'd been beaten. But he did not want, he had so much pride built up in this general area right here, that he wasn't going to give in, he wasn't going to go quietly. So, what did our friend Razis do? He heard the enemies pounding on his doors. So he grabbed a knife, large dagger, thrust it into himself to kill himself, because he'd rather die than be a prisoner of his enemies. However, he was not a very good aim with this dagger, and all he really did was kind of hurt himself really badly. So this dude's just bleeding all over the place, our friend Razis. And he's like, well, crap, that didn't work. So what does Razis do? He gets another idea. He runs to his balcony. His office has a balcony. How cool is that? He has his balcony, throws open the curtains, looks down at the crowd. The rest of his people are looking down. His enemies are down at the crowd. There's just a giant fight. Everybody stops, looks up at Razis. Razis climbs on top of the railing, spreads his arms wide open like Christ the Redeemer statue, and jumps. You know, this is before crowd surfing was invented, so obviously nobody knew what to do. So when they see this guy jump, Razis, the crowd moves, creating a giant hole in the crowd. And Razis, perfect aim, splat, lands on the ground. I don't know how far of a fall this was, but I'm assuming it's pretty far. But that didn't kill Razis. His will to live was just too great. So what did our friend Razis do in his final breath? He stands up, looks to the crowd, looks at everybody, eye contact everywhere. Everyone stares at him, silence, the entire battlefield. His blood is flowing, he's got severe wounds coming out of his infected wounds. He starts tearing out his intestines and throwing them at the crowd. And then what does Razis do? He dies. So, this is an actual story from the Bible, book of Maccabees, and I hope you guys all enjoy this. Look it up. It's real. It's there. Story of Razis. It's the name of this band that's playing behind me. So, yeah. 40 days. 40 days! In the book, we'd almost be halfway around the world at this point.